Okay, so I'm going to talk a little bit about the Titan. If you're online at all, you've been hearing nothing else but what's going on with the Titan, the submersible that imploded. All 5 members were killed. I've been watching video after video on this, and I shouldn't have. I'm kind of getting sick of it. But from what I'm hearing, taking a lot of things at face value, this whole thing, and I'm going to say nothing you haven't heard, nothing, seems insane. There's a YouTube channel 74 gear 74 gear up or something with Kelsey, and he's a 747 pilot who describes what it's like to be a pilot, and he talks about the redundancy and the design of these 747s, where if one system fails, there's a backup system and a tertiary system should that fail. There's a lot of fail safes to prevent death, from happening, crazy accidents from happening. And there's generations of, because of this accident, they fixed this problem. Because of this crash, these people died to fix this problem. This guy, Rush Stockton, he didn't seem to have a lot of that. There wasn't a whole lot of, not only fail safes, like there were several fail safes in regards to should there be a crisis, to drop weight and become more buoyant, come back up to the surface. It's called ballast, to release ballast to raise to the surface, which, depending on who you're looking at, who you're following right now, they were aware of the crisis and they were ascending. They had suspended descension. They were coming back up. Okay, but there wasn't redundancy in the system, from what I could tell, for if you have multiple system failure, which likely is what happened. If you lose power, how do you release ballast? So apparently they did, but they just, depending on who you're looking at, who you're following, they descended too fast. Something had to go wrong. Probably lost power. Descended too fast. Maybe got power back. Released ballast, but they descended too quickly that ultimately led to the implosion. You didn't take that into account? Like, what if you have a system failure that takes just a few minutes to get back up and running? In those few minutes, you've descended how many hundreds of feet and too quickly. And what happened. It implodes. The submersible implodes. And then they have the whole thing about once you're in there and they seal it from the outside, you can't get out from the inside. I looked at that bitch like, no way I'm getting in that thing. I can't get out if I'm in trouble. And then at 3,000 feet, yada, yada, who's coming to help you? So even if you got 96 hours of oxygen supply, there's nobody that can, there's no contingency for that. There's no, if we end up at the bottom, we do have 96 hours of oxygen, who's getting us out? So what was your SOP on that, your standard operating procedure? If that happens, who's specifically coming from where, and how are you getting me out of here? I don't know how you get in it. How do you climb into that thing and take those risks? How do you not ask those questions? There were a lot of people who did. Man, there's so many things that could have gone wrong from what I'm looking at. We could get into carbon fiber, and I got it. Carbon fiber, not a good call. A composite of different metals assembled together, not a good call. I don't know that I would have told you that 2 weeks ago, or before this happened, whatever the case. I don't know if I knew that or not. I know all about it now. Thanks, Stockton Rush. I know how bad an idea carbon fiber is in your design. But that aside, something goes wrong, you're screwed. And there's no way to help you. How do you climb into that thing? Man, I don't know that I wouldn't have done that. But factor in claustrophobia, and I don't have $5. I can't afford it. But if somebody came to me and like for no reason whatsoever, Whitey, would you like to go to the bottom and see the Titanic? I'd be like, kind of like to see the Titanic. Don't want to be buried next to it. Is that too crazy? It just seemed everybody's saying the same thing. I'm going to say the same. A disaster waiting to happen. It was a matter of when. But I just don't know, how do you climb inside that thing and just not ask those questions? And then he's like, well, we use a video game controller. Oh, a video game controller, you say? I should have done this before the video. I got two over there that don't work. I got two in here that don't work. I just bought. Maybe I will take a minute, illustrate this point. Where isn't even my video game controller? So it's this one. I had just bought this. Within weeks it broke, so I had to get a new one. Now, this isn't 20-year-old technology. That's not Super Nintendo. That's Xbox 360. That's getting a little old. But you had a PlayStation controller. Dude, really? Sorry about the lighting here. This is impromptu. Here they are. You mean like these? That don't work? They both got the same problem. I'm playing my Madden, and the B button, the spring, doesn't spring as much as it should. It kind of sticks. Dude, it's a video game. Seriously. How many video game controllers have you gone through in your years? You're putting your life in the hands of a video game controller. Wow. So the one you got stops working. You're at 2,000 feet. All you got to do is they had two more. Okay, not a problem. Plug that in. It only takes so many seconds. But in those seconds, you're descending. Hundreds of, I don't know what the descent rate was really. But you can't, if the most recent thing is that maybe they were in a nosedive and descending rapidly. Okay, so power goes out. You restart. That's back up and running, but your video game controller breaks on you at the same moment. It's this new weird thing, you may have heard of it, called Murphy's Law. Everything will go wrong, Stockton Rush. I don't, man, I can't fathom this. That somebody would. So I gotta say, dude had to be hurting for money. They bought the rights to go down to the Titanic. A number of, they couldn't get, they had a number of setbacks. He had to be looking at his financial picture and saying, I got to push this. I got to roll the dice to get whomever I can down there to make money. I've seen people do it before. And then, if this guy survived, I'd kick his ass. Like, seriously, dude. You're going to go down there, go by yourself. Take yourself out. Don't take these people out with you. So nothing you hadn't heard before, but man, it's just been rattled around in my brain. Like, I gotta say something about this. I'm a retro tech guy. I'm a retro video game guy. I got a house filled with broken technology, man. And it breaks out right over here. Right over here. You want a sad story? I don't remember what broke with this one. It ain't working. The dog stepped on the one before that, and then this happened. Like, seriously, that's the quality of tech that's keeping you alive? The shit that breaks on me all the time? Bro, why? Why would you do that? It's just astounding. So, in a room full of shit that ain't working. And this guy used my quality of shit to keep himself alive at 3,000 feet beneath the surface. Wow. Looney Tunes, dude. I would have never been able to get in that thing. So now I'm just running out a few more seconds to get to 10 minutes here. But yeah, dude was nuts. I don't feel bad for him at all. I feel bad for the other people that died, but at the same time, it's like, guys, what were you doing? Anyway, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers.